Welcome to a special episode of Comment Section, an unexpected episode of Comment
We
Section.
did not plan this, it just happened.
We just were talking and a Comment Section episode happened. Where there's no news.
Nothing at all.
In this news podcast, there's no news. But
You do get fun few
maybe
things.
we'll do another one like this in the future, but
Maybe.
this time it's just going to be discussion about the stuff we usually talk about in Comment Section.
Also, what you said one time gave me an idea. Maybe we should dedicate a whole episode someday to 90s cartoons.
Yeah. I think there's a lot we can do with Comment Section, and here's, I guess, the first time
Yes.
where we accidentally
We are
experimented.
breaking formula.
You know how people, I've heard that chocolate chip cookies were an accident? Like they were they were trying to make chocolate cookies and they accidentally made chocolate chip cookies? This segment is like that.
Yes.
It's an accidental new segment of Comment Section, where we play a game called Would You Rather, where we ask questions.
Have you ever seen the horror movie Would You Rather?
Yeah, I have.
It's messed up.
It's weird.
You know the owner's son or whatever, the billionaire's son?
Yeah.
He's the penguin on Gotham.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie has pretty bad reviews, so I was thinking I was going in watching like a terrible horror movie that I'd laugh at, and it wasn't good, but it wasn't quite bad enough for it to be that bad.
It's frightening because it could really happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Comment Section.
Yes, comment section. See, even in our openings, we fall down those rabbit holes.
We cannot escape the rabbit hole no
It's
matter
everywhere.
what we do. It's inescapable. So, enjoy this special episode of Comment Section.
Yes. Oh, also, before I forget, I listened to the other show. I made a mistake
On
comment section.
Oh, okay.
I'll obviously mention it. So we were talking about like current cartoons, and you mentioned, what was it, Gravity Falls?
Yeah, that was...
I said it was Warner Brothers. I was thinking of a different show.
Oh, okay.
There's a sketch comedy show which found out was not Gravity Falls.
I see. Yeah, no, the Gravity Falls is a cartoon on Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that out. it didn't help when I went to the Wikipedia and said Disney's.
Yeah.
Like how they said, well, like Disney's DuckTales or Disney's Goof
no,
Troop.
I knew it was Disney because of that.
My mistake, people.
Yeah.
But hey, it's your fault for believing it.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I did watch Deadpool.
Oh, really?
I did watch
I remember
it.
you saying you were going to.
Yes, before it expired off on demand.
Oh, yeah.
Because it expired.
Yeah.
I guess it was only 4 days ago. But yes, I sat down and I watched it. And I've read a few Deadpool comics. I've always found them kind of annoying.
Yeah, I did a bit too. That's why I was surprised that I did like it.
Literally, as I go down here and go over to that TV, I'm just like, oh God, am I going to regret this? And I press play because, not to be controversial or anything, but there was another movie recently, a superhero movie, I thought kind of relied too much on the humor.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see either of them?
Wait, what?
Wonder Woman or Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh, so you're talking about Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I want it. I almost am, like, because Wonder Woman's such a priority for me, I don't even know if I'll see Spider-Man Homecoming till it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, but...
I've seen Wonder Woman twice.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
I'll see it twice in a row just so I can make up for it. Okay.
So, I go and I sit and I'm just, oh God. Am I going to regret this? Probably. And I watched it. And I was surprised. I actually liked it.
I know. I was surprised. Like, I don't know what I expected. I guess I just thought it was going to be like...
I thought the whole thing...
Trying too
I
hard
thought
to
it was
be
almost going to be like... Kind of like a thrown together, not lazy plot with just like... If it's funny for you, it works. If it's not funny, it doesn't work.
It didn't rely on the humor that much.
No, like, it knew when to stop.
Yeah.
Like, besides just having humor, it was also a really good movie.
Yeah, I know. That's what it was. I was just like, oh, this is actually just a good movie. Like it, I thought it was just gonna be like one of those like dumb comedy movies, but with a superhero.
Yeah.
But like, it was actually a good superhero movie.
Because another thing to talk about is they had this horrible cartoon. Horrible. Luckily, it's been canceled and replaced with a new show coming out in 2 days or 1 day. Ultimate Spider-Man, which had Spider-Man kind of talking to the audience. I heard a lot of reviews talking about how he's kind of like Deadpool. I'm just like, ugh. do I want to see Deadpool? But, you know what? I was surprised.
They did it well. They did it well.
Also, I really like the post-credit scene. How they didn't even try.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know that there was like a character that I was kind of a fan of. Colossus was in there.
Yeah.
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 Also, there's a question I've been meaning to ask since episode 1.
Here we go.
Yeah, I've never asked it. We talk a lot about Star Wars in here.
Right.
We have 8 movies, because we'll throw Rogue One in there.
Yeah, I just saw Rogue One.
What?
Just like a week ago.
You did?
And I am now a pretty big Star Wars fan, and I just saw it.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I have seen all 8
Okay.
movies, so we can talk about it.
Did you rewatch them before? Rogue One?
I just saw Rogue One, so I didn't have a chance
did you
to
watch it solo?
Yeah, just on my own, yeah.
So, of the 8 movies, well, I mean, we won't rank them, but we talked about our favorite Batmans, our favorite Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
What is your number 1 Star Wars movie? Yeah. Now, I have a number 1.
Uh-huh.
And it's not what everyone else's favorite one
That's
is.
true, because we probably agree that this isn't our favorite, but almost everyone probably would say Empire Strikes Back is their favorite. And when I rewatched all of them the most recent time, do I want to say what I think is probably my most controversial Star Wars opinion?
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm gonna say it. I don't really care for Yoda that much especially because I think his death scene in Episode 6 is really cheesy and doesn't age very well. But I don't know, and also in the prequels, it's so dumb to me when he's like flipping around and fighting. I don't know, but I don't hate him.
Did you ever notice how they in Episode 1? I don't know how. Did you rewatch? Do you still have the VHS, or have you upgraded to DVD or digital? Because when Force Awakens came out, I upgraded them all to DVD because I had all of them on VHS except for the last 2 prequels.
I feel like the only DVD I own is probably like Episode 3 or something.
Oh, okay.
I think I just watched all of them online. Although I'm gonna get the Blu-ray for Force Awakens. But anyway, yeah. So Episode 5, while it might be one of my favorites. And it's not... I kind of got off... I wanted to just say my controversial opinion about Yoda. That isn't why I don't like Episode 5, because I think that's his best...
Oh, you don't like Episode 5?
Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not why... I was... What I'm trying to say is that isn't what I'm saying.
I was just saying, this is controversial.
No. That isn't what I'm... What I'm trying to say is... I said that Yoda is not, like, as loved for me as it is for everybody else.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that I don't like Episode 5 because he's in it. I just wanted to separate those things. So no, I'm saying I love Episode 5. It's one of the best. It's one of the reasons why the series is great.
Yes.
I'm clarifying that. And Yoda is awesome in it. I'm just, okay. That's his best episode. But, so basically we were agreeing that our favorite, unlike most people's, is not
Empire Strikes Back.
It is one of my favorites.
Empire is my second favorite.
It's my third favorite, I think.
Oh, now I'm curious.
Yeah,
about what
I'll rank all of them, I think. I mean...
It's a little hard for me because I haven't rewatched Force Awakens or Rogue One that much.
Yeah.
But I could try to rank them.
Yeah. Well, okay, so... How about I'll just start from the bottom.
Okay.
My least favorite's probably Attack of the Clones. Then Phantom Menace. And then I'll have to say probably Revenge of the Sith. I think it's actually, that one's pretty good for it being a prequel.
That's
so
like the one prequel I would watch by itself.
Here's where here's where all of them are good.
Yes.
And then the next one is Episode 6, which it's the weakest of the original trilogy. And then I'll say Rogue One.
All right.
So that's a spoiler
Yes.
of it. We're getting to the good stuff. Okay, so we're at 3 more. I got lost.
There's a lot. There's
okay, because then
we did the 3, then we did 5. Yes,
so then
3 more.
Empire. Since I already spoiled that.
All right.
So the last 2 are...
Which is it?
So that spoiler that The Force Awakens is pretty high.
Yeah.
Right. My number 2 is the original Star Wars, and my favorite Star Wars
favorite
movie is
The Force Awakens.
And I've like ever since it came out, I've thought about this. That's what I'm saying is like another really controversial one, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, it just copies the original. It's just the plot isn't original." But I find all of the the characters more interesting. Like, I actually find Rey and Finn more interesting characters than like Luke. Like, I mean, it's all great. Like I said, basically the only ones that I think are kind of bad movies are 1 and 2. All of the other ones are great to me. But I don't know. I think part of it is that I'm so curious what happens next. That if the rest of the trilogy is bad, The Force Awakens would probably drop. Because it'd be like, oh, these characters aren't as interesting as I thought. But because I'm so interested in them now...
yeah,
I don't know. So I guess it's because of my excitement that's my favorite.
You think 8 will beat it?
I don't know. That's kind of... It all relies on that. Because if 8 is, like, as amazing as Force Awakens... then that will definitely solidify them like at the top, and it could be my favorite trilogy of the 3 trilogies. It could be.
Whoa!
But I have to. The thing is, I have to like. I also was never the biggest Star Wars fan until this came out, so it makes sense. Like, I mean, I followed it like my whole life.
Oh yeah.
But like, I was not like that into it until it came back, and yeah. What's your ranking?
My ranking. We have a little bit of a different ranking. But whatever. It's not like we're debating like moral things or whatever.
I am not like I've seen all of them like 3 or 4 times. Like I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. So if someone wants to kill me because of my ranking, like I mean, I don't know the movies that well. Like,
oh yeah. So my ranking from whatever. Yes, bottom. Worst one for me is The Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. I think that one is so dull.
Yeah.
I felt like all you needed was Qui-Gon meeting Anakin. That was all that mattered in that movie.
That could be the worst if it weren't for the Darth Maul fight and the amazing soundtrack that accompanies that.
I wish Darth Maul had been there the whole time.
It
doesn't make sense how like you had Vader through that whole trilogy, but then Darth Maul, and then you get this old guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be
weird.
Regrets.
Okay, next one.
Next one is Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Then it's Revenge of the Sith. Ooh, I think I might have to tie the next 2. Okay. Because I don't really thought about it that much. The next 2 is a tie between Rogue One and Force Awakens.
Okay.
That's the thing, is that these 2 came back to back, and if you were a big Star Wars fan, those 2, that's a nice double feature to have. Because
to me, Rogue One and Force Awakens felt completely different. Like Rogue One was like really dark, and the characters were just different. I don't know. And The Force Awakens was more like just a fun
return
Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Like it was like it is a lot like the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
And if you notice, those are my 2 favorites. Yeah. The original and Force Awakens. So apparently I like the weird plot of blowing up the Death Star and
get rid of that thing.
I hate the Death Star. Blow it up. Although I said sick, whatever.
He went to Toys R Us all the time. He would constantly smash.
There's like a beautiful Lego.
This is for you, Rebel Alliance.
like a beautiful Lego Death Star that is built over hours and hours and months of work, and I just smash it with a lightsaber. Like,
and then some guy calls him some worker at Toys R Us says, Mr. Johnson, it happened again. He's back.
Yeah.
But so now we got there. Now we're down to the original trilogy, I believe.
Yeah.
So goes A New Hope is 3rd place.
Okay.
So now we're between the last 2.
Oh, so your favorite one is...
My favorite one is Return of the Jedi.
All right.
And here's why. Like, for me, whenever I think of Star Wars, whenever I think about it, I think about how it's a story of how Luke tries to redeem his father.
That's true.
To me, those moments are the best.
That is good.
And how, like, the Emperor's trying to make Luke evil, and then, it redeems Darth Vader.
Yeah, no, the original... Yeah. There isn't a bad... Like I said, there isn't a bad movie after a certain point.
Yeah.
After the list gets to a certain point.
You get past those first 2, and then...
Yeah.
Smooth sailing from there.
If I wanted to say one thing that that does make The Force Awakens shine to me, I really... And it depends on where it's going. I'm kind of bored with just straight up evil, which is another reason why I should rewatch episode 6, because what I'm going to say contradicts that. But just having a brooding evil character that is just all bad to the core.
Oh, yeah.
Is kind of a boring concept. Not saying that's what Darth Vader is, but I find that Kylo Ren does that like even more. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like he's even more like bad at being evil. Like he's really struggling with it.
So I remember when the trailer first came out, he had the two little things on the sides of his lightsabers.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, my first thought wasn't, oh, it's like an old,
Like a
medieval
hilt,
sword.
A hilt.
My thing was, man, how is it gonna stab people with that little thing?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was gonna Darth Maul it.
He does in the movie. Do you remember that? Like he was fighting.
I've only seen it once.
He was like had the lightsaber and he was like twisting it to. I think it was it was to Finn. I think.
Yeah.
He like got his shoulder by doing.
Oh
that. Yeah. I thought that was really cool because I was almost like, when I saw it, I was like, is there a point to that? Like they got, and so I guess they had to use it in some way, and they did. But yeah.
You hoping he'll be there the whole trilogy? Kylo Ren?
I hope that the like practically main arc of the trilogy is like his struggle with the dark side. Not that he's going to be like a main character, but that's one of the main arcs of all three.
So, one last question, because I always mean to ask and I always forget.
Yeah.
So, recently I went to see Batman and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's kind of mixed reaction. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's not of the like this is kind of the fifth of the animated series movies. It's not Mask of the Phantasm, but yet what could be? But it's like it's in 25 years the only movie to be as good as Mask of the Phantasm is this other one called Under the Red Hood. So, but I liked it for what it was. It's more of a comedy. So for those of you, if you've ever seen the episode This Little Piggy of Justice League Unlimited, where where Wonder Woman turns into a pig and Batman and Zatanna try to fix her, it's more of a comedy. That's what you're getting into. But boy, what was it? Oh yes, so I rewatched the other movies before. How often before there's like a sequel or whatever to a movie will you rewatch the previous ones?
Like before it
like
comes out.
anytime you're gonna see like a sequel or something, will you rewatch the other ones?
I always intend to, but then I think I just don't get around to it usually.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm always like, oh, I need to rewatch all of that, and then I don't. That's probably good. I bet that's gonna happen with the next Star Wars movie.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be like, I gotta rewatch all of them, but I don't have that long.
So also another thing, well, if there's like a reboot or something, like we had Spider-Man be rebooted this year.
Mm-hmm.
Would you watch, before you watch Spider-Man, would you rewatch the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's, or would you try to avoid them so you don't compare? Because I try to avoid so I don't compare.
I think I'm pretty good at not comparing things. Like, I think I'm pretty good at wiping my brain and not letting other things compare. Like, I feel like my reaction to things often is like, I usually don't like something until it sinks in for a long time. Like, I usually am very excited. I'm like, that was the best. And then I'm like, well, I'm actually a little disappointed. So usually I'm pretty good at separating it until it's really sunk in. So I don't think it matters for me. I don't let the hype get to me usually.
Oh yeah,
which a lot of people have trouble with that. I've noticed.
Yeah, I think the last movie I was really hyped for was Civil War. Boy, did it deliver.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get those really hyped ones like 2012 where you get really hyped and you're just like, that wasn't just because I was hyped. That was just like, what
we won't speak its name again.
No, we will not. It's like Voldemort. So enough of that.
We spoke that name, but we won't speak this.
Yes. So I saw Batman Harley Quinn on Monday.
Yeah.
Then I saw The Lion King.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw, in 1 year, more than one hand-drawn animated movie?
You mean just like
in theaters?
In theaters? Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I did, period.
I think like it's kind of been like when one of those Nickelodeon movies happened.
Yeah, I always
like want.
I've been missing well, is it hand-drawn? Is the Batman one hand-drawn?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
They hand-draw it?
Well, it was originally supposed to be direct-to-video, so cheaper budget.
But I mean, like, I would think they would use computer-drawn.
No.
I mean, it would still be...
You mean, like, Flash animation?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they use Flash, but they use some kind of animation software that...
No, this one was actual hand-drawn.
Interesting.
So when was the last time you think you saw
it's been so long since there's been big actual 2D animated movies in theaters.
When was the last time you saw a 2D anime movie?
It's been so long I don't even remember.
I think the last one I saw was when they did that new Winnie the... Well, before... Not counting re-releases. I think the last one I saw was that... I think I remember the last three I saw were that new Winnie the Pooh, that Princess and the Frog, and then the Simpsons movie.
Oh, I did see this. Actually, the Simpsons movie might be the most recent animated movie.
Can I say something?
Huh.
About when I saw the Simpsons movie? There's this kid next to me who clearly did not have a sense of humor about anything. About just nothing. He's just like, what?
What?
I'm just like, what were you expecting? Did you expect did you think you would see a Disney movie?
I know.
No,
Yeah.
this is a comedy. Like, he's like next to me, just like, oh. What was it? Like, remember the scene where Homer's trying to get to the top of the dome?
Yeah.
So you see there's like a jetpack. The camera focuses on a jetpack, and he says, "Oh, perfect!" And then he grabs super glue.
Vaguely.
Well, the kid's just like, "Oh, what? Come on, kid, have a sense of humor."
That would be really annoying.
Like every joke, he's just like, "Oh," I'm just like, Disney fan over here.
I know. Does he have a sense of humor? Does he sense humor? Literally?
Does he think it's just supposed to be like some dramatic, like Pixar movie where you're supposed to cry at the end?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I cried every time. You know, one thing that I kind of consider a movie, I don't know if you've heard of it, we were talking about cartoons and the recent episode of Comment Section.
Oh, you said you didn't watch any Nickelodeon ones. When I was gone, because, I had to suffer with a hotel TV, I saw one on Nickelodeon. I don't know what it's called, but it was pretty good.
Like a new cartoon?
Yeah, on Nickelodeon. It felt like a combination... Don't get too hyped when I say this, because I know that what I'm about to say, you'll be like, what?
Yeah, I'm going to have a heart attack.
It felt like a combination of Hey Arnold and Doug.
Oh.
Like a smashing together.
Yeah, there might be. I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't know what it's called, though.
We'll have to check it out and
it was... God, what was it? It was like the kid goes to see a scary movie by himself, and his friend goes to see like a Barney knockoff.
Oh, yeah?
And like he comes back, and you don't see the parent's face, which is always fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's called.
I haven't been keeping up with Nickelodeon, so I probably don't know what it is. But
I wish I knew what it was. I'd like to watch it again someday, but...
A few years ago, on Cartoon Network, this mini-series aired, which is... I kind of consider it a movie because altogether, the miniseries, it's like, if you were to play it back-to-back, it actually is like hour 10, 20-minute movie almost, but it played as a miniseries called Over the Garden Wall, and it's amazing.
Oh, I heard of it. I never watched it. I heard of it.
That is, everyone needs to watch that. I just binged it all in one day around Halloween, and it's like a Halloween tradition for me, because it's kind of Halloween-themed, but it's amazing.
Before I ask, were you ever able to get those Cartoon Network shows?
Oh, like the free episodes?
Yeah.
I downloaded a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode. Yeah. I love free things.
Yeah.
Movies, like, there are some movies that, are like, the studio knows secretly that it's bad, but they gotta release it. They should release it, like, just the first showings are just, like, on Monday mornings.
They do that sometimes.
Oh, really?
Well, sometimes they'll do it on... Because a lot of movies now open on Thursday. A lot. Yeah. If they start showing the critics on Wednesday, that's a bad sign.
Oh,
like they did
right
that.
before?
It was... What was it? I think it was The Dark Tower they did that.
Oh, they knew it was bad. I was surprised that was bad, honestly. Did
you see it?
I was kind of intrigued because the trailers looked kind of good. And then I was like... When I saw the reviews, I was like, what? It's really bad. Wow.
What was another one? Oh, they did with Fantastic Four, the Josh Trank one.
Oh, yeah.
God, what else?
That can also often be a bad sign with video games when they don't release they don't let people review it until release day. And then it's like...
It's not a good sign. Sometimes they'll have like an embargo.
Yeah, that's
like they did it for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But that was because they wanted all of the reviews to come out one day. So it's just like, hey guys, you see that 92?
Yeah.
we got over 50 this time.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that's a sign of like, they don't release the embargo until the day it comes out. That's a bad sign. Every now and then, it'll be like, oh, okay, it's not actually bad, but it's often a red flag.
Yeah, I think the one time it was kind of, well, yeah, okay was, I guess they did it with Force Awakens, but I guess that was to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's a very big spoiler.
Yeah, I got it spoiled.
Did you?
I was so mad. The thing is,
I had something that spoiled for me for Force Awakens. I read on Twitter. It was about how Luke doesn't show up till the very end.
Oh.
And I didn't believe it.
I actually got the big spoiler. And what happened was, I actually was trying to avoid, like, discussion. Like, I was avoiding, like, forums and, like, Reddit, because that's where people talk about and stuff in depth. But the way I got it spoiled for me, the big spoiler, which I will do the courtesy of not saying, was I was just on Facebook, and there was some, like, it wasn't, like, man, it was just, like, I'm trying to remember, it was some, I want to say it was just a post of just, like, some, like, meme post of, like, The Force Awakens is out, everyone's caring about Star Wars, and just, like, the first comment on there was just, like, oh, I saw it, this happens, and, like, they went on this rant, acting as if everyone already knew that, and I was like, it's been out for, like, 3 hours, man! Like, I was so, and the thing is, I just saw it so quickly that I was like, maybe they're lying, maybe they're not telling the truth, it's pretty extreme, they could have been joking, and so I was like, if that happens, I know they're telling the truth, and I know that they suck. I mean, what kind of evil person does that, like, 3 hours after a movie releases? That's sadistic.
Sometimes, do you ever, like, after, like, something gets released, will you go back to spoilers that came out before and see if it's true?
You mean, like predictions? Or
yeah.
like,
well, I mean, if there's, like, an article marked spoiler, like, this, here's how something ends, and it's, like, a week before the movie comes out.
Oh.
After you see the movie, will you go back and see if it was true?
I've never thought of doing that. That's interesting. Like, have you gotten stuff where it's like, oh, that wasn't actually true?
Yeah, because I remember it was Batman versus Superman, so I remember they announced I was like the one person who was really just mad that movie was announced. Because
really?
I was just like, you know, it's from, you had Zack Snyder and David Goyer and Nolan, so we're coming off, it was announced in 2013, so you had Man of Steel a few months before and you had Dark Knight Rises. So when it was announced, I was just like, they made a crappy Batman, crappy Superman. Now they're going to put them together for twice the crap.
Oh, really?
So I was just like, I didn't get excited until they delayed the movie. And they announced that Chris Terrio, who did Argo, rewrote some of the script. And I think, this is just my guess. This is just a guess.
Okay.
This could be an optimistic thing for Justice League. So Chris Terrio worked with Ben Affleck on Argo. I think he only did the Batman scenes.
Oh, okay.
I think the only ones he worked on were the Batman scenes.
That makes sense.
Because, yeah, like, it's still credited, it was David S. Goyer came up with the story, but I'm just, that's what I think. I think he worked on just the Batman scenes, because,
that's possible.
And I heard Ben Affleck, even, like, when he was, like, in the suit getting ready, he was rewriting scenes for Batman. So that's what I heard. So, when I was just like, ugh, it's gonna be crap.
Yeah.
So, I started reading spoilers, and there were a ton that turned out not to be true. What was one? One was that, and kind of an allusion to this comic Kingdom Come, where Batman was, Bruce was kind of at the Batcave controlling like a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
And another one was that I was so disappointed of, because for those of you who don't know, Dark Knight Rises and Batman vs. Superman are both based on Dark Knight Returns. Like, if you line up Dark Knight Rises and Batman vs. Superman, they follow kind of the same beats.
Yeah.
Like, you can substitute Catwoman for Wonder Woman in the movies, and it's all about how Bruce kind of. It's about how it's years later, and it's about him becoming the guy who he once was.
Yeah.
Except one is clearly Batman, the other is Mope Man. But so another one was I was just like, let's fix the mistakes. Let's fix the mistakes. This is our do-over. I remember because they said it after Man of Steel that people thought it was gonna be Justice League, and I was just like, no, I don't care. I wanted my Dark Knight Returns movie. So I was just like, they're doing Dark Knight Returns again, so maybe this time they'll get it right.
Yeah.
But so I'm just like, let's fix the mistakes. Let's fix the mistakes from last time. And there was a rumor that like Dick Grayson gets mentioned by name.
Oh.
And I was just like, darn, he never.
Oh, I see.
He never showed up. But to kind of like get people excited for Justice League, Chris Terrio wrote the script from the beginning. So,
I see.
And I also gotta say this. You know, I think Zack Snyder was a mistake to have for Justice League. I mean, Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel. Man of Steel. I think he was I think it was a mistake to have him direct Superman. I think he would, after looking at Batman vs Superman, I think he would have done a better job directing a Batman movie.
Okay.
And a lot of this movie is Batman and Wonder Woman.
Right.
So I think because it focuses on Batman, I think they'll kind of play in his strengths a little more.
Yeah, I can see that. Hopefully it'll turn out.
Yeah.
If your theories are true.
Here's the good thing. If it's great, we get a Justice League movie. If it sucks, it gets wiped away by Flashpoint.
Yeah.
It's a win.
Perfect.
The thing that sucks is you'll have to wait a little bit. But.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I've been thinking about this real quick. Little game. I had an idea.
Ooh, a game.
A game.
I like games.
A would you rather game.
Ooh.
When we talk about like reboots and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I guess we can still kind of ask this question.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know this, but after Amazing Spider-Man 2, Sony wanted to make $1 billion, and it didn't make that.
Yeah.
So they were going to reboot no matter what.
I see.
Before the Marvel deal happened. So, and the goal was to introduce him in Sinister Six.
Oh.
But let's forget that information. Would you rather have had Spider-Man Homecoming the way it is, or would you have rather had Amazing Spider-Man 3?
It's
a little bit hard because you haven't seen it. But just from what you've seen from the trailers.
I'm fine with it being rebooted.
Alright.
I like seeing a different take on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So another one. Would you rather have still had Amazing Spider-Man, or would you rather have had Spider-Man 4?
Oh, like so a Toby one?
Yeah, a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4.
I'm fine with it being rebooted. I don't know. We got a whole trilogy.
Yeah. And
as we talked about, I mean, I don't care for the third one all that much, so I don't know. Hopefully, maybe they could have made it better, but
I really hope one day, maybe someday they can do. I'd like to have them publish the script somehow, like in comic book form or something.
Yeah,
because I'm always so curious about what could have been.
There's so many opportunities with comics that that would be awesome if they
they did it with Adam West, because Two-Face was going to be in the Adam West show, but what happened was they did the origin of Two-Face. Why, of all the villains, they felt they had to do the violent origin of Two-Face, I don't know. But because when you watch the show, he's been Batman for a while, so all the villains have already been around for a while. But they released the script as a comic. And in what is it? October, we finally get Adam West versus Two-Face.
Oh.
in an animated movie.
That is awesome.
Alright. You probably will have no opinion about this.
Probably.
What? Would you rather have had... Because I don't know how much you watched the Superman. The movies.
I've only seen probably Man of Steel, or what was before Man of Steel?
Superman Returns.
I think it might have been that one, actually.
Okay. The only good thing about Superman Returns is that they gave Tom Welling that was the suit he wore in the finale.
Yeah.
Some people whine, he didn't wear it. He does the shirt rip at the end.
Yeah.
That's more than what we all thought was going to happen. Don't lie to yourself. Oh, man. Okay. I just have another question that I fear forgetting. Okay. Would you rather have had a sequel to Superman Returns or Man of Steel?
I just don't care about Superman all that much as a hero, so that one I really do not have much of an opinion about it.
So I don't like either movie.
Yeah.
But I guess I'd have to say Man of Steel because you could kind of do more versus the other one. They kind of screwed it up so much that you had no choice.
Oh, yeah.
So, and also because of what happened, we got our true Superman with Tyler Hoechlin in Supergirl, which, it's not Smallville, but yet it felt like it. It felt, which is the best compliment I can give it. It felt like a return to the world of Smallville. Okay. 2 more.
All right. Would you rathers?
Yes.
All right.
Would you rather have had a 5th Batman movie in the Burton Schumacher universe called Batman oh God, was it? It's not Triumphant. That's what everyone called it. But it would have been Batman and Robin Batgirl versus the Scarecrow and Harley Quinn. And there's a scene where Scarecrow fear gases Batman so he sees all the villains.
Oh.
Or Batman Begins. Would you add Batman 5 or Batman Begins?
When you said the first one, that idea sounded so cool that I was like, I want that. But then you said Batman Begins, and I was like, I love that movie. I can't... you can't take away Batman Begins from me.
Also, as much as I personally prefer the 4 movies versus the Nolan movies, it's just, for me, it's like those 4 kind of tell like a definitive story versus it's his long origin story. But it's a little bit like if Batman Begins hadn't happened, would we have eventually had reboots? And it's like, how much longer can you really go with that universe? Because they kept killing off all the villains.
Yeah.
Like, I think all they had left was Catwoman.
Right.
It looks, Riddler in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
I thought Two-Face died, but if you look in Batman and Robin, when Poison Ivy and Bane are going to break Freeze out, Two-Face's suit is there. So I guess that means he lives.
I see.
You have Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy. I'm assuming Bane died.
Yeah, I forgot Bane was in it, actually.
It showed... I don't ever need to see a movie of Bane where he's the main villain.
Yeah.
I think he'd work better as if we ever had like a TV show. I think he'd work better as just like a season finale guest star for 2 episodes, but
yeah,
I don't think
maybe not a great main villain.
I don't think Bane really works as a main villain. But yeah, that's more than I thought. Well, I count, but still, you don't have the Joker.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sounds cool, but I still love Batman Begins.
I know. And the other thing is, like, if without Batman Begins, how do you have The Dark Knight? And that's my favorite Batman movie.
Although, to kind of give it a little capper, talk about Arrow Season 4, how it's horrible. Well, the first half is good, but they did that scene that I talked about where Green Arrow gets, like, a fear thing, and he sees all his former villains.
Oh, really?
I gotta give him props. The second half is terrible, except I love that scene.
That's awesome.
And then they did it again in the 100th episode.
Which there's some shining moment.
Which was a good episode, the 100th episode. But that's season 5. Alright. Okay.
Alright.
This is the big one.
Big one.
You will not get yelled at or anything for this opinion.
Alright.
Would you rather have had, in 2012, a Batman movie starring, written, and directed by Ben Affleck?
Okay.
or The Dark Knight Rises?
Hopefully I am not like too influenced by your opinions on The Dark Knight Rises on this, because I haven't seen that in a long time, and I've only seen portions of Ben Affleck as Batman. But I kind of like the Ben Affleck as Batman, like that idea.
Oh yeah,
and like I mean, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight are the only ones that I need to exist in my heart. Like The Dark Knight Rises, while I didn't hate it, I didn't leave much of an impression on me. So
did on me. I'm still scarred.
Yeah, it left an impression on me.
What was I gonna say? Sad thing, I kind of do wish that they would have done that, because it sounds like no one didn't even want to come back.
Oh, really?
Like, he kept saying about how he wasn't going to come back at Dark Knight, and then I guess he only did it to get Inception made.
Oh, really?
But, well, yeah. But it's too bad, because I think had they done that in 2012, we would have gotten that Batman written and directed by Ben Affleck.
That would have been really cool.
Because I heard a lot of the rumor is, obviously with Daredevil, what happened is kind of influencing his age. I heard another thing, in fact, is he tried to make a movie like right after BVS, but it didn't really do that well critically.
Oh, yeah.
It was that gangster one.
I don't even remember that one.
2 more questions. Okay. We ranked Spider-Man, Batman movies. Who are your top 3 Batman actors?
Actors. So, do you mean as Batman or as anything?
We'll do as Batman.
So, my top 3...
Live action, obviously, for me.
Problem is I don't know Ben Affleck's as well, because I've only watched portions of it. Right? So, I have a problem. I really like him.
I've said... I already said mine. Mine is Keaton, Kilmer, and Affleck. So, who are your top 3 for the live-action Batmans? We won't count animated, because you haven't seen a lot of animated ones.
Yeah,
or any.
I haven't.
Which, you know how lucky you are? If you ever want to, you can watch
all there.
Mask of the Phantasm for the first time. You think The Dark Knight is good? This Mask of the Phantasm makes that movie look like a piece of crap!
There's so many things I want to see. Like I've said with Wonder Woman, I want to see it, so it's like the movie I want to see the most this year, and I still haven't seen it. Like, for some reason I have such trouble motivating myself.
I didn't say Dark Knight Rises is crap, but Mask of the Phantasm. Wow. If you want to have a fun night, Mask of the Phantasm, Sub-Zero, Mystery of the Batwoman, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker.
I mean, yeah, I have so much that I could look forward to.
Maybe rewatch the Burton Schumacher ones to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
Because those movies kind of exist. I mean, obviously, if you don't want to go through 80 episodes of the cartoon, that's probably a good thing to catch up on. Or, I mean, I guess you kind of know enough about Batman, but 3 Batman actors...
Wait, so we're choosing between Keaton, Kilmer, Affleck,
Clooney, and Bale. Or West. You can include West, but you haven't seen a lot. We won't count Lewis Wilson or Robert Lowry
West.
Because no one remembers them. And don't lie, you don't either. Although they are really good serials. Though, I remember when I was little being disappointed because Adam West has like the short bad ears.
Oh, yeah.
Those serials show why he needed those short bad ears.
Oh, really?
Because they are constantly drooping and stuff. Because we didn't have the rubber...
Oh, I see.
Oh, did you ever hear? Michael Keaton, first time as Batman, he turns his head and the whole thing just rips.
Oh, really?
Because that's why... Remember in Dark Knight how he wants to turn his head?
Oh.
That's not a fake reason. That's a real reason about why they updated that suit.
Oh. That's funny. Oh yeah, so my 3...
You can include Affleck. You've seen enough.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I have a very hard time...
Have you ever seen his Suicide Squad clips?
I've watched clips from most of them. I was mostly watching Batman vs. Superman, but I was like...
Did you ever see his clip from Suicide Squad? Like, he stops Deadshot, who's played by Will Smith.
I didn't see that.
Oh, he's the standout. I know I'm biased, but still.
I have a very hard time.
He's the highlight of that movie, and a lot of people said it too.
Yeah, I have a hard time not saying the same thing as you, because if only because even though I haven't seen Affleck, the full experience in every movie he's in. I'm not that big on the
I'm Batman.
So
I'll be on. Well, Batman Begins Dark Knight. Me personally, Bale's my least favorite.
yeah, but I don't. It's kind of just that sort of Batman persona isn't my favorite either. So that's why I don't think he would be in my top 3, despite The Dark Knight being my favorite Batman movie. Although a lot of that has to do with the Joker.
Yeah.
But
Joker and Alfred, I thought, were the best cast in that series.
oh yeah, that's definitely.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, if it had been made years ago and he actually was Robin, I think he could have been a good Robin.
I like him a lot,
but he's not Robin.
Yeah, but
he's not.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see actual Robin. Yeah, I have a hard time not saying the exact Keaton, Kilmer, Affleck. Don't remember much of Clooney's.
Clooney's the best Bruce Wayne. Clooney is the best Bruce Wayne.
He makes a lot of sense as Bruce Wayne, but
I think if you look at those movies, Keaton is the best. Of the original 4. Keaton's the best Batman. Clooney is the best Bruce Wayne. Kilmer was the best at playing both.
I see. Yeah, I gotta. You marathon those all the time. I gotta do it again.
I rewatched them,
soon.
and then this week I'm rewatching the cartoons because I just rewatched Mask of the Phantasm again, second time this week.
The only thing I watch and rewatch over and over again that much is The Office, as we've talked about many times. But
yeah,
I can't.
I know another thing because people always talk about recasting.
Yeah.
Because I rewatched Batman Forever. As much as I love Keaton, I don't know if he would have worked as well in Batman Forever as Kilmer did. Because we're going to a Batman more years later, so it's...
Yeah, I mean, let me think. It's been so much longer for me than it was for you.
It was 3 weeks ago for me.
Because I don't even think I could even tell you. Like, if you said, which actor played in which Batman movie?
Like, if I say Batman Returns, who's the Batman in there?
I mean, yeah, but that's Keaton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I showed you...
I'm not confident.
If I showed you a random picture of one of the 3 actors, could you tell the difference?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I can tell because...
I definitely know Clooney. I know what he looks like.
I mean, in the suit.
Oh. That makes it harder. Yeah, I can see.
That's just like, could you tell the difference?
I mean, it's only been a big few, but a few years since I've seen it, so I think I'm just not confident, but I'd probably be able to.
So that's kind of your ranking?
Yeah, I can't think of any other ranking.
So, you haven't seen Civil War?
No. I am so sorry.
So be sorry to yourself, because it is such a great movie.
I am sorry to myself. I'm sorry to myself for not seeing a lot of things. That's just one of them.
Which do you like better, as the actor?
Okay.
Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield? Because you haven't seen Tom Holland.
Probably Tobey. Probably.
I just say Ty, because it's easier. I just think that of the 3, they've all been so perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Like, even like with Superman, I have my definitive 4, who are George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, Dean Cain, Tom Welling.
Yeah.
If Tyler Hoechlin can play it more often, then he'll be 5, but...
that one I have no opinion on. I have no ranking for Supermans at all.
The worst one, in my opinion, the worst Superman actor is the original one, Kirk Allen.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so... Okay. Last question.
Is this another Would You Rather?
No, this is... more of... I think you might have an answer.
Okay.
So, what is, in your opinion, the best series finale to a TV show of all time?
Ooh. Okay. I'm just going through trying to think of a bunch of examples. Well, I do think that the Office one is just fantastic. Another one I want to shout out because I think it's really good is the Parks and Recreation finale was very good. It's probably in my top 10 favorite episodes of that show. I don't think it wraps up the series quite as amazingly as The Office one, but one of the most satisfying ones where it's just like, I have no complaints, is the Breaking Bad finale, where I think a lot of people were happy with that one, where it was just like great way to end that show. And it was a really... The interesting thing about that finale is it almost doesn't feel like that finale is like the climax of the show. Like, there's an episode a few episodes before, which I actually referenced, called Ozymandias. That, to me, in Breaking Bad, is the climax of that show, and the last, like, 2 or 3 episodes, I forget how many were after it, are, like, just kind of the soft close of it.
Oh, yeah.
The Ozymandias
was that in the final
climax.
season? Or?
Yeah, the final season. The final season is kind of 2 seasons. It's 8 episodes, it's like season 5A and season 5B. I don't know why they did it that way, but that's how it is. It feels like, I mean, it was a year later, and it feels like it's just a season 6, but it's called season 5B. But yeah, in that last 8 episodes, I think it's the third to last, called Ozymandias, to me is the climax of the whole show, and probably the best episode. And then the last 2 episodes are kind of just wrapping up, and they wrapped up very well in that show. There's not any really loose ends I can think of. They wrapped it up very well, and that's why I think that's my answer. I think I want to say
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
So, before I say mine, would you like to take a guess on my favorite series finale?
Of a TV show?
Yes.
I gotta think of all the shows that you're really into, because trying to think if there's one you've talked about before, because okay, how about this? Is it just to narrow it down, is it like comedy or drama, basically? Or like, in drama I'm including like superhero
Drama.
Okay, I'm gonna just guess, is it Batman animated series?
No, because to be honest, Batman the Animated Series has never really ended.
Yeah, I was kind of iffy on answering.
Let's be. I know it's called the Arkhamverse, but the
yeah,
Arkham games are basically a half continuation.
I guessed it because I don't know what the ending is at all for that show. I didn't know if there was like some amazing finale at all. I was completely in the dark, so I just went in the dark. I just guessed that show.
Yeah.
Smallville?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
I had to remember other shows you liked.
Yes.
And that one I was like, okay, that's a good one.
Yes. That Smallville finale. You know, I heard it. It was recently in the news about what the original plan for the Smallville finale was, and how, I guess, Tom Welling kind of changed it.
Oh, okay.
Because originally in Act 1, I guess, which is, before the first commercial break, he was going to get the suit.
Oh.
And, I guess Tom Welling kind of talked to the producer saying, hey, that's not really the show, is him getting the suit right away. And I'm just like, I love the moments where he has the suit. I don't really know if I want 2 hours of that, of him flying around in the suit.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like divided into 2 halves. Like, they aired it, there was 2 hours. Starts with kind of like the wedding of Lois and Clark. And it's about how he's kind of like trying to let go of like the painful parts of his past. And like he's trying to forget about like the pain of his dad's death. Because, his adopted father died.
Yeah.
So, you get this great moment where this villain Darkseid is coming to kind of enslave all of Earth. And Green Arrow's in the finale, not the one from Arrow.
Yeah.
It's a reboot of the Smallville universe. But he's kind of been like corrupted by Darkseid, who's like this big villain, and like Clark kind of like inspires like the light in him. And there's like a great scene because Lex kind of died in season 7, and there's like about his return. And then like you have this great scene where they see each other, and Clark and Lex kind of knows that that Clark has these powers. He figured it out. Although later his mind gets erased. So when Clark is Superman in the future, he'll know that Clark Kent and Superman are different people.
Yeah.
But there's this great moment where he finds out Lex is alive, and Lex tells him about how history's greatest people are made by their enemies, and he's just like, we have a future, Clark, only on different sides, and Clark's just like, I'll always be there to stop you.
Oh.
And then Lex talks about how that's great, but we still have this apocalypse thing coming, and it's because there's this great moment where in the pilot, Clark saved Lex from drowning, and I guess he kind of wanted Lex to kind of stop becoming his father, who was this corrupt businessman. And then he talks to Lex, and Lex is kind of like, we both know who can save it,
Yeah.
And Clark, the last time you see Clark and Lex is he says, I'm sorry I couldn't save you, Lex, and he speeds away.
Oh.
And there's this great moment where he gets hit or something, and he's being pushed back or whatever, and you hear his alien father say, you've always had the power within you, and you see a clip show, and then once the little clip thing ends, he's flying for the first time, and it's
oh.
And then see, I always thought that the show would end with him just staring at the suit.
Yeah.
I thought it would end with you see Clark looking at the suit.
Yeah.
Although I did have a way I always hoped it would end, but I never thought it would, which would be you see the back of his head and the cape. That's all I was like, man, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the finale, okay, and he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and his alien father, you hear his voice there, and he's talking about you've reached kind of the end of this part of your journey, and then the suit rises from the thing. So I'm just like, that's how the show's gonna end, but we still got some time left.
Oh.
What is going on?
Oh.
So, and then his alien father says, your powers may come from Krypton, but it's your time in Smallville with Jonathan and Martha Kent that made you a hero. And then you see the ghost of his Earth father saying, always hold on to Smallville, and he's holding the suit.
Oh.
So Clark goes to him and gets the suit, and then he's kind of on his own. And you see him fly away, and then quick CGI, you see CGI Superman fly away.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so a lot of the time, Superman is CGI
Yeah.
in the show. But there's one moment where there's a plane falling, and Lois is in there. And you see CGI Superman catch the plane. And you see Lois looking out the window, and she's kind of here, and you see this head coming by.
Oh, yeah?
And it's the back of his head with the cape.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh. And then they said, hey, here's even better. And they flip it, and you see his actual head with the cape floating in the background.
Oh, yeah.
So then he pushes it away, and then the ending is something you'd always hear fans talk about online, but you're just like, that's too good. It will never be in the finale.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no way. Then it ends with, you hear this theme from the Christopher Reeve movies.
Oh, awesome.
And then he does the shirt rip, and you're just like,
Amazing.
He's effing Superman! And yeah, that's my favorite finale.
That's a good one.
It is funny about how Superman, last time we saw him on TV, he did the shirt rip. And then when he returns to the CW, even though it's a rebooted version, when he returns to the CW, it's the shirt rip again.
Oh, yeah?
That's how they brought him back in Supergirl. But,
Good finale.
yeah, great. One last question.
Alright.
You may have an opinion of this, and you'll be like, who cares? Talking about how, how they're bringing back Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
Justice League.
Yeah, I remember.
They kind of want to make these feel like the classic characters. I don't know. You would just be like, who cares? But whatever. Should they bring back, for Batman, the yellow oval?
Oh. Because, yeah, they kind of are going with just the very dark
We
now.
haven't had the yellow oval since Batman Forever.
I like the yellow... Oh, I love the yellow oval.
Oh!
I thought this had that on it. Wait. Oh, here it is. Aha! I love the yellow
Oh,
oval.
yeah.
You can kind of see. That's a
Yeah.
Batman yellow oval. I like that design.
I got it, too.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. It'd be nice to bring it back, and then they can sell merch with it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the logo you see everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
a more famous Batman logo than anything.
When you think about, he didn't have it in Batman and Robin. It was just black.
Yeah.
Didn't have it in the Nolan movies, and he hasn't had it in the Affleck run.
I'd like to see it. I like the yellow oval.
I think that's such a classic thing.
Yeah.
You don't really need Superman's underwear anymore. But the yellow oval is so cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm hoping they'll bring it back. You know what? I thought they were going to bring it back in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
When I was kind of cracking the story, I thought that because... I thought it was going to be like everyone Gotham kind of lost hope, and that the bat signal kind of brings them hope, so he wears it on his chest.
Yeah, I see.
Did not happen.
Didn't happen.
But, he spent some time painting the thing while a bomb went off. But, yeah, that's
finales. That's Would You Rather.
Yes.
That's questions. So thank you for the enjoying. It was definitely enjoyable.
Yes, we did. This time, nothing was planned. It just happened.
Yep, and that was comment section.
And you know what it is. Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
Right.